Improvising with these guys, what I found just being dropped into this movie, it was like learning how to do the high jump for the first time at the Olympics. Hi, I'm Adam Scott, and we are about to watch some scenes from throughout my career. Okay.
Take a seat, Mr. Hawkins. Take another seat, Mr. Hawkins.
Well, I figure I'd be sitting in this seat so much, I just wanted to take in the view from your side.
Oh, really? Is that what you wanted to do? I remember this very well because this was one of the first scenes that we really shot as Griff Hawkins. That name, by the way. I feel like that name was because Ethan Hawke was like Reality Bites was happening, which was cool because I just clearly wanted to be Ethan Hawke. I mean, look at me. Still do.
Mr. Hawkins, I will make this short and to the point. This is my school. You are a guest in my school. And while you're here, you will toe the line and respect the rules.
I had never been on a set that was completely built like on a soundstage. I was like, everything is like perfect. Like this is a fake room and there was food everywhere. Like they just had tables of beautiful food, like shrimp. And I just couldn't believe it. I was just kind of overwhelmed by the whole thing.
Now, what is your first class?
English Lit. Hey, kid. Room 103. And take good notes.
I mean, very green, not understanding like punchlines and stuff or really how to deliver them in this way. I didn't know like the sitcom rhythms and stuff, which there is a thing and I just didn't know it. So after every take, like a swarm of writer producers would just gather around me and start telling me like, okay, that was fine. Let's try, like, giving me all this direction. I was scared shitless. I didn't know, and clearly I was doing something wrong. We were there into the night. Like, I felt like this was taking a while. People were looking at their watches, and it was because of me. But what I do remember is William Daniels, Mr. Feeney, the coolest guy. I remember about halfway through that night, he leaned over to me, and he was just like, hey, kid, don't listen to a fucking word they say. Do whatever you want. He was very kind to me. And I remember before we shot, I went up to someone, not knowing what people do or who anyone on a set is. I went up to like a camera operator and I was like, hey, do you think William Daniels would mind if I asked him about Reds? Because he's in the movie Reds, which is one of my favorite movies. And the guy was like, I don't know. Sure. I didn't ask him about Reds.
Excuse me, I'm supposed to be in English class. Can anyone tell me where the cafeteria is? Whoa. I believe you were first.
I auditioned and played a role as senior with guitar on Boy Meets World. So I had already played like a one-line role. I think when I played senior with guitar, I had a bob. And then I remember when I got the role, deciding on Griff's wardrobe, there was like a panel of people sitting there like for my fitting. Like I would walk into the room and they'd be like, it's kind of Johnny Depp 3 years ago. And me just being like, what does that mean? But just thinking like, I feel like I'm in a movie about making a TV show. Like this feels so weird. I was just so brand new to all of it. And then got it. It was a big deal. And then after 3 episodes, they said goodbye to Griff Hawkins.
My name is Helly R. I'm an innie. And everything they told you about Severance is a lie. David!
I like that the audience laughs when she says that. My first reaction was like, I'll never get this job. Like, there's no way. But also, it's the kind of role I had just been, fantasizing about. I thought, if I am able to land this thing, it will be because I've been sort of like earning it all this time. That's at least how I had to think about it. And by the time, we started shooting, I had lost my mother. And then immediately I had to let go and start the show. I was dropped in New York. I was away from my family, and sort of like height of the pandemic, we were all sealed off from each other. So it was a lot of isolation. I ended up kind of working through a lot of grief and figuring out a lot of mourning.
They torture us down there.
Damn it! Please!
We're prisoners!
She's alive!
We had no idea any of this would work. We shot all this stuff, a few months before we finished shooting the season. So I was thinking at the time, we have like a 55 to 60% chance of all this stuff working. I was really impressed when I saw the cuts of the episode and just how masterfully Ben and Jeff, who edited the episode, had cut this sequence together. It's really good. And so I was just so proud when I first saw, oh yeah, you guys fucking did it. But I remember saying to Ben and Patricia on set when we're shooting all this stuff, man, if we've got them, if they're with us at this point, then this is going to be great. Because the show was weird. There were so many things that had to work well in order for this to work. Me calling Cobell by the wrong name, and her cluing in that I'm not me, and then this moment, this like house of cards that had to be set up, we did it. Like, this works. Not knowing yet if audiences would get into it, or, you never know. And so at the very least, I was so excited to just be a part of it, and that we had so much fun doing it, that whether or not it clicked in the world and people liked it and watched it, I was fine. I felt like we had done something special.
I started this because I see now how unfair this all is to you. And once my wife is free, I swear I will finish the process. Because this life, our life, belongs to both of us.
Whenever I'm doing a scene, no matter what the scene is or who it's with, I get like the very best scene partners. Britt, Trammell, Zach, John, Patricia, Jen, Michael. It's a murderer's row, and they're all so fucking good and so different. Then this scene comes along, and I'm just like, oh shit. Well, now it's myself, and I'm like out of luck. Like I'm not getting that great person I get to sit across from. It was always like off in the distance, and I was like, oh God, at some point I'm gonna have to do that. And I was very like scared of it, We had a few days to do it. We sort of just were going like chunk by chunk, and I recorded both parts on my phone in my apartment, and so we could use those on set. And then as we're shooting, I was actually recording video on the camera I was holding, so then we could start using that. We had this really sort of unsaid thing where we could really just feel something out, and if something was feeling slightly off in one direction or the other, we both sort of knew it and knew to go back, or if I felt something was off, could go back and just sort of try and specify. It was kind of like power washing, which is something I've gotten into, which is taking like the high-powered stream of water, trying to just knock out every little speck of dirt. And you have to get really specific and get in there, and just, it's the most satisfying thing, but it's super specific. And so we had to feel like we were covering all the ground we needed to cover. And then if it felt like there was one speck left, we could go back and take care of it.
Anything that you can tell us for season 3?
I always feel like, as far as spoilers go and people wanting to know things, they don't actually want to know anything. You want the feeling of wanting to know, but you don't want the information. You want that tug towards the show and towards having to know. That's part of the fun, is the ask and like what is going on. But you don't want to know anything. Even though you said you do want to know, I think that's bullshit. I think you just want me to say something. So nice try.
Hey man, you want to go for a jog? Sort of kick out the cobwebs, get some endorphins going?
Oh, no thanks, Chris. Kind of tearing this claymation video a new one right now.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, Ben, I really think you need to take a step back here. I think getting some perspective.
Rob is so fucking
What are
funny.
you talking about?
I've known you a long time, and right now you need help.
With my claymation?
Oh my God, I loved Parks and Rec before I got to join. It was a great show. It was also really exciting because season 2, you could tell as a fan that they had really like found their footing and gotten into a groove, and they were cooking like with gas and gross. I don't want to say cooking with gas. Who says that? Jesus. They were cooking with gas.
You are wildly, insanely depressed.
Depressed? I'm the furthest thing from depressed. Do you see him? Do you think a depressed person could make this?
I couldn't believe they actually used claymation. The claymation was something I just threw in there, and I was like, that is so gross. You'll never use it. And then Mike put it in the show.
I'll show you my claymation project, okay? Now, I've been working pretty hard on this, and I think it's really good. So just hang on to your hat, okay? Okay.
I didn't know Rob Lowe at all, and we started the show at the same time, and I remember standing outside in the hallway of the Parks Department with, about to enter for our very first scene, and just kind of standing in their hallway waiting for our cue to go in, and just being like, fucking scene with Rob Lowe. Even though we didn't know each other at all, there was this immediate thing on camera that just sort of kicked in. It was great writing because they had written these two characters in such a specific, fun way that all we had to do was say that stuff while attacking it in the right way. And there was an immediate sort of thing there, this relationship.
Oh, how great. Did you pause it?
Rob and I got to know each other as the show went on, and I remember by a few months in, I was talking to him about his sobriety, and I really was like, this is a really special, interesting guy. Terrific, incredibly smart and skilled actor, but also a great dude and an incredible father, and love him.
That's the whole thing. That's 3 weeks of work. You're gonna be okay.
No, I'm not. You see, in my head, I thought that was really, really cool. In fact, I emailed Leslie 2 days ago and I compared it to Avatar.
It really starts at the top with Amy and with Mike, the work environment that they create and encourage is everything. They want everyone to feel like they're a part of the process and want it to be a happy place and understand that everyone's best work comes when they feel heard and they're wanted and they're relaxed. That's where you're gonna get everyone's best stuff.
What's the fourth one? What? What's the fourth one? You said fourth one. What are you, Constance? What are you doing? Is that pot? My God, it stinks like pot in here. What are you doing? Pot.
Is this where he shows us a picture of a leg without a foot?
Yeah.
I want to show you something. 4 years ago, I vowed to get straight. Put this in my wallet as a constant reminder.
Ron Donald particularly. I remember early on when we were making Party Down, Ken was like, yeah, Ron's a dit-to-do. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, he's just like, he's a dit-to-do. He's an idiot. And so whenever I see Ron behaving like this, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a do-do-do.
Do you remember my party buddy, Kevin Cathcart? That's where his foot used to be.
The thing about Ron is he has really good intentions and he's a sweet person. He's just, he just cannot do anything right. I loved Henry and Ron's relationship and getting to do those scenes with Ken.
So Pop made his foot fall off?
No. He became an alcoholic and mixed gin and Percocet on his way to work. He crashed a company van into a tree and lost his foot.
This is the one where we were like, oh, this might be really good. Like, this is pretty special. And Lizzie and Ryan and Martin, we all caught it at the same time, and it was shooting this one where we were like, is this great? This feels great.
Where does Pop fit in?
He smoked a lot of pot.
That's a leg?
Made footless. By pot.
Oh, it was so fun. Whether or not this thing was the biggest show in the world or no one watched it, which is in fact what ended up happening, as luck would have it, we didn't care. We were like, this is awesome. So we were really doing it for each other more than anything because we were just running to work every morning to see each other and do stuff like this.
Look at this. Straight talk.
Thanks, Rob.
A few years later, after it was canceled, people started watching it, and then we got to do a third season like 13 years later or something, which was super fun. Which is why being on Severance and being on something that has caught on like now, while it's going, is a brand new sensation for me, because usually it's like a delayed thing.
You were fucking the theater director last year. So.
Wow, that is so inappropriate,
Well, you're being really
Abigail. And this is
hypocritical
not
and
about
using
me.
the
This
rush-
is about you and your future.
Oh no. Oh no. What a bummer of an afternoon for Ed. Holy shit. His whole life is Madeline. One of the interesting things about the show was sort of exploring Madeline and exploring how she's structured her life so that she can keep certain things at an arm's distance and certain things close to her and be in control as much as possible. And I think that for Ed, it's a matter of his hands not being on the wheel at all. That's fine for him because he is so in love with her. So a moment like this is a complete takedown of his entire world.
You misheard that. Where are you going?
Get my ears checked.
The show was so special and such a cool thing. Parks and Rec ended, and I wanted to find something like more dramatic, for lack of a better term. Big Little Lies came along and it fought to be a part of it. And I also thought it would be a really special thing to be in something that is completely driven by women. It was a story about women wholly. It's not about women and how they're reacting to men in their life. There are scenes where men aren't mentioned at all. And it was only 10 years ago, but 2015 when I got the role, that was like really novel. That wasn't like a thing that you saw on TV very much. And so I felt like it was a really important show and a bunch of important stories within it. What a great job. Great thing to be a part of. And getting to work with Reese Witherspoon was so fun.
I haven't had a carb since 2004. Check these out. See these? See these boys? This is what I live with every day. I lather this up with Kiehl's in the shower. You want to touch this shit? No. You want to touch these bad boys? Sorry, not gonna happen.
I haven't had a carb since 2004. I can claim that as an improvisation of mine. I remember this scene in particular was very early on in the shoot. And I remember Catherine Hahn and I were like, what are we doing here? Like, this is amazing. Like, we both were like, holy shit, we got these incredible roles in this giant Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly movie. Getting the role was just a total fluke. Someone had the role, someone very well known had the role, and they couldn't do it. There was a scheduling thing, so they had auditions at the last minute. And so me getting the role was a fluke in the first place.
Look, I promised Mom I'd offer you a job. I told her it'd count as her Christmas present, so...
No, I'm never gonna work for you.
Fine, I don't care.
Truth is, I just smoked a J out in my car a few minutes ago, so feeling a little spacey.
Very early on in the shoot, we were shooting at that house, shooting in the backyard for the tree house. And then I remember Adam McKay, the director, was like, hey, we looked up in the tree house and it looks great. So we're just gonna shoot the scene where you pop up in there and do that. We'll just shoot it tonight. It'll be great. And originally that scene was scheduled for like 8 weeks later. And so I wasn't worrying about that for a while. So I was panicked, like, holy shit, I have to do that now. It was very spur of the moment, which is really great for comedy, but I was brand new to it. So I was freaked out shooting the scene that sort of suddenly. Watching it now, it's fine. It's like, whatever.
You guys both look like you might want to hit me in the face. You do, I can tell. Well, why don't you do it? Why don't you punch me in the face? Punch me in the fucking face!
The approach that they had, which was completely unprecious, like do a couple scripted takes and then let's just try some stuff. And whether it works or not, who cares? Let's just try a bunch of stuff and then we'll just use the bits that work, that are funny. And I was like, oh yeah, everything we shoot on a show or movie or whatever, you don't use all of it, you use the good bits, so why not just fuck around and find all the good stuff? And that's what they were doing. And improvising with these guys, what I found just being dropped into this movie, it was like learning how to do the high jump for the first time at the Olympics. And they're the nicest, most supportive, hilarious, great guys. So it wasn't a matter of not being supported or anything. It just took me a while to figure it out. Catherine was excellent right away. Just knew exactly what she was doing. So good. It's so weird. It's like 30 years condensed down into a few clips. There's a lot of stuff I'm glad you didn't choose. I'm proud that I got to be in this cool stuff. I mean, I'm really lucky, truly.